I'm your host, Sheldon Alexander, and we got something a little bit different today. We got a bonus pod where we're breaking down the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we brought out the big guns to help us out as we deep dive through each and every playoff series to give you the goodness to try to help you make some money. All right, sounds good. I mean, we went through each and every series there, but there's still one last thing that I want to beg you guys for. Is it possible to get a Stanley Cup pick? Is that something you guys are in on? Mike, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I said it off the jump, man. I like these Bruins 20-1. I think that you're getting a team that we usually see in this kind of form at 8-1, 11-1. So you're getting double the odds on a team that has just showed us since the beginning of the new year that they are a Stanley Cup contender. They haven't stopped showing us that, and they're getting the goaltending that they need. This team doesn't need, stand on your head goaltending like others do. They play so strong defensively. They're so strong in their own zone. They're so good at keeping games on script that they should be able to pay off at 20-1. I think that they should be in line with teams like Carolina and Toronto and Tampa Bay in terms of their prices. So I'll take the value on the Bruins, a team that I'll be betting on a lot this postseason. I'll either be going down with the ship or partying on Fleet Street, I guess it is, later this year.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, you know me, I play these things a little bit more conservatively. I like to get a little sort of, team effort going here when it comes to my Stanley Cup picks. I'm with Michael with regards to Boston. Basically, I'm going to take one out of every sort of little quadrant here. Boston's going to be in that quadrant. I'm going to go with the Panthers. Mention that obviously at plus 400 or better. I still think that's a pretty decent bet. And then in the West, I'm going to get a little spicier. Again, this isn't necessarily a prediction of who's going to come through the West. It's really just a value play here. I mentioned the Minnesota Wild as a team that I'm not even really positive they're getting out of the first round. But if they do, I like their chances against Colorado, against any of those teams out West. They're available at sort of as low as 16-1. You can do a little bit better than that. And then, as I mentioned, I would normally say the Oilers, but instead I'm going to say the Connor McDavids, because the Connor McDavid Conn Smythe bet is going to act as my Oilers future there. And if you wanted something elsewhere from Alberta, I look at Matthew Tkachuk, a guy that we didn't mention with regards to sort of a big picture standpoint. He's 33-1 to win the Conn Smythe. One last thing on the Conn Smythe. It's really tricky market to bet because there's like 3 to 8 guys on any good team that's capable of winning. The Flames have 3 to 8 guys who are capable, but we have to remember voters. What do they like? In other sports, it's flash. In hockey, it's grit. And Matthew Tkachuk is a guy who's going to be problematic for teams. And if the Flames make a run to the Stanley Cup, he's going to get a ton of credit for not just stuff that happens on the statistical score sheet, but on the stuff that happens in the dirty areas in hockey. Voters love that sort of thing. So a little bit of a hedge there with Alberta in its entirety with Tkachuk and McDavid as my 2 Conn Smythe picks out of that little quadrant of the bracket.
That's amazing. Lots of value, lots of action here for the people to choose from.